Awesome. Here, so now we're going to do the custom tray video. This is the class 1 and class 2 edentulous forms we're going to be making these custom trays for. We've just poured up our stone model. Now we're ready to put some Vaseline on it so that the triad will not stick. We're going to use Triad by Dentsply, Triad VLC, visible light cured. This has about 200% more strength than the original blue material and about 50% more flexibility. I'm going to draw on the cast where I want to take the custom tray to. I started drawing where the vestibule was, and I'll show you that. So I'm going to take it up about 2 to 5 millimeters from the vestibule. I want you to think about when we took edentulous impressions. We focus on having a very arbitrary, functional, more like arbitrary, aggressive impression to capture all the movements of the tissues. The PVS is more capable of getting down to the nooks and crannies than the custom tray, and I actually don't want the custom tray to get in those nooks and crannies because it can affect the tissues and make artifacts in the arbitrary impression we're making. So I've cut it up about 2 to 5 millimeters. I prefer in our class to do it 5 millimeters in edentulous spaces and about 5 millimeters above the teeth. Now, different than edentulous models, we have teeth. These teeth can break when we try to take them out of cast, so we're going to provide a little bit of wax relief. Also, the PVS does better in 2 millimeter increments thicknesses, so we'll put a little wax relief there to help get the very good contouring we need around these teeth. Now, PVS is required to produce fine detail to meet ADA standards. They get down to a ridiculously low level. The type of viscosities we'll be using, the high viscosities, they get down to 0.02 millimeters. It's plenty refined for what we're doing. This custom tray we're going to use to carry, confine, and control the material to get down to ridiculously low levels like 0.02. But keep in mind that many of the stones are only required by ADA to go down to 0.05 millimeters. So although the low and the medium PVS materials can record to 0.02, the details that the stone records, they won't produce that type of line. They can only go to 0.05. However, keeping in mind that most readily available dental materials have an accuracy when manipulated correctly, which is sufficient for our current needs, we're going to be fine regardless. So here we go. We've got our first custom tray, and I'm going to make a few cuts to refine it up to that level that we talked about. I want to get it about 2 millimeters to 5 millimeters above the vestibule so I can do a P90X impression. See me lifting it? I'm lifting it to a line which I previously drew. Okay. Notice a little bit more relief around those frenum. Okay, plenty of space there to capture the frenum. I'm going to take this up to the line we previously drew. Okay. Black line would be 2 millimeters from the vestibule. The red line is about 5. So now we'll cut a little bit away from the facial. Very good. Okay, this one's about done and ready to be cured. We can set that one aside. We can do the top one. And there's the top one completed. We've got the top and the bottom custom trays completed. We're ready to cure them. And you can kind of see the lines and the proximity to those lines. Very good. Okay, perfect.